Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 1:41 a.m. on this cool Thursday evening going into Friday. It is currently 32 degrees outside. Can I just tell you, I was just sitting here in the mirror and I was looking at my hair right here. I had to cancel my hair appointment because I had a hair appointment and this shirt is like wrinkled and baggy, but anyway, I know I look like crap, it's okay. I just got up from a long nap a little while ago. I had to cancel my hair appointment because I had my EEG today. And so I was just sitting here looking and it's like, here's where my beard starts and here are my sideburns that are getting long. And I'm like, okay, this is not cute because I slept on them and now they're like sticking out. I'm like, okay. I can remember like taking water back in the day and like trying to get them to sit down, my sideburns, but anyway, it's whatever. Who cares, right? I'm vlogging. I'm just hanging out with my folks, having a little vlog session going on here. A little vlog session. Having a little conversation. So I have some coffee right here. Alex and I watched The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City tonight. And afterwards we watched Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen's got the 411. And then I said, babe, I am so tired because I went to bed early last night and got up early and I've been going all day long today. And I said, I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit. So Boo Radley came upstairs with me and we laid down probably at, I would say like 10:30. It was 10 o'clock, a little bit right after 10. Oh, no. It was right after, I'm like, wait a second. It was a little bit after 8 and I set my alarm for 10. Alex came upstairs right before my alarm went off. And he got into bed and was like playing his game and looking at TikToks and stuff like that. And I kind of like slowly got up and then I was talking to the dogs and then I laid in bed for like a good half an hour to an hour. And then I got up and I went downstairs and I was looking at stuff on the computer. And then I made some coffee, and then I was reading a little bit of Alice Oseman's Heartbreaker graphic novel, which I am probably 2/3 of the way through. It's so fantastic. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go vlog now. Happy not Vlogmas. So anyway, I made coffee, and I think this is Gingerbread Spice by Mods. I don't remember. Maybe this is the... No, that's the butter rum or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, had a little Keurig K-Cup. Keurig K-Cup. Had a really good day today. I'll tell you about that in a second. Should I read through some of the comments really quickly? From the vlog. The vlog of love. Let's see what the vlog of love says today. Welcome to the vlog of love. Okay. Nita said, hi Peter, I looked up The Girl Who Lived by Christopher Grayson on my Audible and realized I already had it. I think it was a free pick included with my subscription a time back. Do those change? Excited to listen to it now. That happens to me all the time. Like, what did I just look up the other day and I was like, oh, I really want to read this. And then I looked and I was like, oh, The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. I was just looking this up last night. And who has like 2 new books coming out and everybody's saying that he's like the best new LGBT young adult author. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to read at least one of his books. And he came out with one called The Gravity of Us. And I bought it and I never listened to it. So Joelle said, I love this sort of Dear Peter advice column format. More of this. Okay, well, if I get one, I'll do a little bit of that. Stacy said, oh, hi, Stacy. I love the For You Memories feature on iPhone. I save all of the videos. I love it, too. Adriana said, LOL. She timestamped it. 48:38. I was laughing so much when you did that face talking about the cover of those gay movies with the finger biting and the title, like, is he straight? Okay. Arlene said, I just finished the book you recommended, A Bad Day for Sunshine by Dorinda Jones. Was so good. A fun read. Just started her other one. Thanks, Peter. I love her so much. Kara said, hear me out. This might sound crazy. When you last went to Arizona and Alex went to California, when you were coming back, that was the time the whole world was shutting down. I think you both need to go back and redo whatever you did so that when you're done, maybe the world will go back to normal. So hurry up and go so you can reverse. Okay. Wish it was that easy. I really do. Kayla said, I need to watch this cooler vlog Peter keeps talking about. Oh, I was like, cooler vlog? Who's cool vlog that I was talking about? Okay, so the cooler vlog was, it was during the summer sometime, I think, and I was driving. It was like out in Westfield, Indiana. It's a suburb of Indianapolis. And I was driving down this road that I regularly drive on. What makes it really spooky around that area is that if you turn left right there, it takes you right to Fox Hollow Farms, which is, it's like 161st and Gray Road. It takes you right to Fox Hollow Farms, which is the Herb Baumeister mansion where he killed all those guys. So it's real eerie over there anyway, for me at least. And so I was at a stop, I think it was like right as I was coming up to a stop sign, I looked over and there was like a styrofoam cooler on the side of the road, or maybe it was just like a regular cooler, I can't remember. And I said, I wonder what's inside of it, because it had like the lid on it and everything. And I showed it in the vlog, I think I showed it in the vlog, and I came back, I wish I would have got out. And so I was like, I wonder what was in there. Well, so the comments were so hilarious. Like somebody said something about, or maybe I said, what if it was like a cooler full of snakes or something like that. Somebody said, what if it was like a head, like in the movie Seven? So I said that if I came back the next night and maybe it was 2 nights later or something, and the cooler was there, I put on this Joe Malone 154 tonight, which I really like. I always spray cologne on before I come and vlog, so I smell good for myself, which is why you should wear cologne anyway. And I kind of forgot what it smelled like. I haven't worn it in so long. I'm like, I don't know if I like that or not. But anyway, I said if I came back and the cooler was still there, I was gonna like kick it and run and see what was inside of it, but I came back and the cooler wasn't there. So that's the cooler story. It's really not that exciting. Meg said, hey Peter, you mentioned something in a recent vlog about a funny story you told in the past about you having to take a women's health course as a prerequisite for your MSW. I feel like this story would be hilarious and would love to hear it, LOL. Thank you for all you do. I look forward to your vlogs and every day. And there have been so many times when I feel like you are talking to me and getting me through those extra hard days. Aww. I truly believe you're an angel, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much. I'll tell that story in a second. It's really not that funny, honestly. Haley said, haha, my mom used to say she has champagne taste in a beer pocketbook. Love you, Peter. We all want the fancy hotel on the beach, not the cheap place down the street for $79 a night that you have to Uber into the beach. Well, that is true. Adriana said, I hope your EEG. I think I said EKG last night. Because I said something to Tanya. Does it say on here? No, this is my blood work. I have to get a bunch of blood work done too. They had to retype it up for me. Or reprint it out because he added like 3 tests to my blood work. But I think I said EKG to Tanya too, because she was like, was it weird having those things like glued to your chest? And I was like, what are you talking about, Tanya? They did it, it's on my head. And she was like, I thought you said you got an EKG. I said an EEG. I said, did I say, I may have said EKG. I think last night in the vlog I said EKG, I don't know. But it went fine. I'll talk about that in just a second too. Wendy said the trick for a long wait at Cheesecake Factory is to go sit at the bar top tables, usually no wait. I totally agree with you, and that, you know what, and that's what my husband and I always do. But unfortunately, there were 4 tables, and literally, I mean, if one of those tables, if somebody started to even get up to it to go to the bathroom, somebody was on it like that. I mean, there were people like waiting, watching the bar last night, and we were just like, forget it. But that's what we used to always do. Troy, hey Peter and the amazing and my amazing fellow vloggerinos. Peter, I really enjoyed the Peterisms video today. I really enjoy that channel. It helps me out more than you know. To my amazing fellow vloggerinos, keep being rock stars and always be yourself. Hope everyone has an amazing day. Love you, Peter, and everyone. Oh yeah, and one more, I love you. Oh my God, you guys, I have to tell you, I just want to like address this. I don't know what video it was on. Maybe it was my booktube video, but I don't think so. It was like where I was saying something and they responded. Monet responded to it. And Monet like watches a lot of my videos. Hey, Monet, how are you? And she's very sweet. But Monet is very like direct with how she like writes things. And I know that because I read all her comments and whatever. But she responded and she said something like, I can't remember what it was that I said. And she's like, if it was like, if I said like I like candles, or if I like, I don't know, like, if it was like, if I said like, I'm totally making this up, but if it was like, if I said I like gas fireplaces, Monet would say, I don't like gas fireplaces, my family and I like wood burning fires, blah, 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 whatever, right? And somebody came, and they were like, responded to her so nasty, I felt so bad. And they were like, let him like what he likes, or something like that. I was like, oh my God, leave poor Monet alone. So anyway, where was it? I wish I knew. I wish I could find the comment, but I know I'm not gonna be able to now. I don't even know what video it was on. Oh, you know what? It was on my review video. That's what it was on. It was something that I said that, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. I'm almost positive it was on my review video. I feel like I know Monet's picture by heart, so this shouldn't be hard to find. Okay. Oh, there's Troy commenting on my review video. Hey. I felt so bad for Monet with this comment back to her. Maybe it wasn't on my review video, because now I'm like a day out. There's Gemma. Oh, she's responding to Zach. Oh, I know what it was. It was the Kentucky Fried Chicken review. Because Monet said, my family and I had real fried chicken tonight, or something like that. And this person said, let him eat what he wants, or something like that. I was like, I mean, they were like, they thought they were defending me against somebody, but like, they didn't know that it was Monet, you know what I mean? Hold on. Here's Joelle. She said, can't wait to take you to this place in San Diego called Plumeria. Their chicken is the best vegan chicken I've ever had. LOL. Yes, even better than this KFC fried chicken. So happy they have this as an option here now. Love you, Peter. Where is Monet's comment? Monet, you must have been super early. What if I get to it and there's like tons of people that have responded to it? There's Linda. Okay, now these are the ones I've read, so I should be coming up on it because I've read these comments. Where are you at, Monet? Oh, here it is. Oh, there's 3 comments. I'm scared to read them now. So, Monet said, hey, hello, Peter. My mother bought a pack of chicken legs at Publix this evening. She fried the chicken at home for us for dinner. You have to understand, like, when Monet leaves a comment, she always, like, is very detailed. And I love it. I love it. She watches all of my videos. She's so supportive. She fried the chicken at home for us for dinner. She makes the best fried chicken in the world. It wasn't imitation chicken, it was actual chicken. We ate the chicken and it was delicious. I love fried chicken. Now, actually the person that responded, I think, is a vloggerino as well, but I could be wrong, and said, he doesn't eat meat, what's your deal? And this person said, she wasn't being rude, it's just funny banter. Oh, okay, good. And this person said, it isn't funny, Peter is vegetarian. So I appreciate the protection, but please don't fight with each other in the comment sections. Be so nice to each other, you guys. Be nice. Anyway, so yeah. Okay. Let me go back to the vlog for a second. The vlog of love. I've been sitting here in this gas, I just filled up my gas tank for almost 17 minutes now. Susan said, Peter, you are blessed to have Tanya as your friend. I know it. She knows it too. She tells me all the time. Chad said, I find it ironic for me that today's vlog dealt with the subject of friendships because earlier this week, I decided I cannot work with a coworker anymore, and I asked my supervisor if I could switch positions. It's been 3 years working with the same person, and I just decided that I want this year to be better than the last, and I wasn't going to be talked down to anymore. So I've been going through feelings about it. Then this vlog pops up and talk about good timing. Oh wow. So hard, isn't it? Teresa said, great content tonight. Well, all your videos are super enjoyable. I feel like we've all had that friend to deal with. You always make me smile when you end with love ya. Love ya, the same way my husband and I end our phone conversations. Chelsea said, I restarted my day today. I woke up just so tired and sore from going back to the gym after the snowstorm that hit Virginia. My husband took our sons to school and I went and laid down for about 20 minutes and I got up feeling like such a bruff. Oh, I love that! Oh my God, awesome. Nita said, I am so sorry you bit your tongue. Ouch. It was funny because talking about friendships, and I feel like I keep on talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in regards to this friendship thing, right? Which is like, okay, Peter, it's really not that deep. It's a reality show. But let me tell you something. So I was watching it tonight, and I thought this was such a, a great lesson. So Jenny is the new cast member on this season, and at first I thought she was so boring, but now I have to tell you, I just really, really like Jenny, and I like how she responds to people. I like how she tries to make amends and apologize, but then she stands up for herself as well. So anyway, she had this get together with all of the women in the International Peace Garden, and she had this luncheon, right? And she wanted everybody to get along. Well, Meredith on the show has asked that if Jen comes on, Meredith has said, if Jen is going to show up to something, don't invite me, because I don't want to be in the same place as Jen, okay? Because they don't get along, or Meredith doesn't get along with Jen, or whatever, because of this past issues that we still don't know everything about. So, I'm like having like stuff from that. The glue from the EEG is like on my ear now, which is weird. So anyway, so on Watch What Happens Live, I think it was Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked Jenny, it could have happened on the show, but I think it happened on Watch What Happens Live. Andy asked Jenny something about, why did you invite all of the women to the party when you knew that Meredith didn't want you to invite her, or didn't want you to invite Jen if she was going to come, and vice versa? And Jenny said, I'm a grown adult. Nobody's going to tell me, you're not my mother. Nobody's going to tell me who to invite and who not to invite at my own party. Like, I'm going to invite, and it was really this good lesson for me. Like, I feel like many times in my life, I have tried to play the middleman. I am sure that so many people are going to say they relate to this. Think about how simple this is that I learned tonight on Salt Lake City from Jenny. Like, this is so easy, right? I can't tell you how many times, like, I have in my life, like, arranged a lunch or a dinner or, like, a birthday party for somebody and know that, like, two people don't get along. And then I'm like, okay, well, this person loves both those people, so I want to invite both of those people, but I don't really know how to do it. And so then I'll, like, go to them and I'll say, hey, like, I don't want it to be uncomfortable. Like, I'm doing all the work so that these people can, when I should just invite them and, like, let the chips fall where they may kind of thing, right? Like, it's like, you guys are adults. If you can't get through a birthday party with being civil to each other, then you don't need to show up to the birthday party to begin with. And there's been, like, so many times in my life that's like, don't sit these people next to each other, like, stagger when they're going to show up because you don't want them showing up at the same time. And so, like, I'd say to somebody, like, well, why don't you come at 7 and then, I'll have so-and-so come at 7:15. That way you guys aren't showing up at the same time and it won't be uncomfortable. And it's like, I was sitting there watching it tonight when Jenny was like, I'm a grown adult and I'm going to invite who I want to invite, and I'm going to invite all the women, and then if they don't want to be there, there's the gate. You can leave, And I was thinking about that tonight, and I was like, she's so right about that. Like, I feel like all this time in my life I've spent trying to make things easier for other people when it's like they're not what is going on here? This person is getting out of their car. What are they doing on the middle of the road? That was really weird. They just, like, stopped their car in the middle of the road, out in the middle of nowhere, and got out. But, like, I've thought that, at many times that, like, oh, I don't know, how can I make this drama-free? And I was just, like, sitting there watching it, and I was like, huh. Well, that's a pretty easy solution, isn't it? It's not my problem. Let them deal with it, Tanya always says the road becomes narrower as you get older, and you have had more life experiences. And I think it's true. It's like, things just become simpler sometimes the older that you get. And I don't know, it's just not so difficult. It was, like, so funny today because, we're trying to book this house, rent a house in Fort Lauderdale and plan this all out, and Tanya and I are the ones that are planning it, and it's definitely 3 of us, at most 4 of us, right? And so I said to Tanya, I said, well, how much do you think is like what do you think each of our parts should be? Like, because I wanted to get kind of an estimate in looking at houses, because we're both looking at houses, right? So I said, so we had kind of a idea of, like, when we're looking at the total amount, like, what's cool. And I was kind of like, whatever, because if I had gone to Arizona with renting a house, renting a car, airfare by myself, all that kind of stuff, it was going to be an expensive trip for myself. And I had told Tanya, I said, if we want to get a nicer place and not everybody wants to pitch in, I'll just pay the difference because it'll be fun for us and whatever, And, so she was like, no, I'm not going to have you do that, whatever. And so we kind of, like, talked about price point of, like, what each of us thought was fair. And what Tanya thought was fair for, like, each of us to pay was much higher than I thought that she would. I thought she would say, I don't know, I didn't know what Tanya would say, but I thought that she would say something much lower. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went through and I like looked at all of these different houses, and so did she. And then I picked out like 10 houses anyway. So I said, well, let me know which ones of these you like. Tanya picked the most expensive one. I was like, girl. So anyway, but that was kind of funny. I'm really excited. We're gonna have it's gonna be a fun trip. Tanya's like, look, we've been talking about doing this for 10 years, and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna have fun, and yeah, it's gonna be like it's gonna be our Real Housewives trip. Tanya's like, I don't care, but I want a pool, a heated pool, in my own bedroom. I was like, same. So we're right there. Some of these places you can rent, my God, down there are so gorgeous. I mean, if you want to pay, you know, $1,200 to $10,000 a night, you know, for a mansion in Star Island or something like that. I'm like, God. I told Tanya, I said, if I had the money, I would love to pull like a, you know, how Stella got her groove back, where she calls up Stella and she calls up her friend, you know, Whoopi Goldberg, and takes her to Jamaica. I said, Tanya, you know, if I had the money, I would love to just like fly us all first class, just, you know, treat everybody, fly us all first class, and, you know, get a limo to the hotel, put us all up in like a 3-bedroom condo at the One, and just have like an amazing, you know, couple days. I said, unfortunately, when I looked to see what a 3-bedroom condo at the One cost, that's not happening. It's like literally like a couple $1,000s a night. I was like, oh, no, that's not happening. I said, maybe someday if I won the lottery or something, I would love to do stuff like that. I love to do things for my friends and family and surprise people. And so Alex booked his tickets for San Diego. He had like a credit from like, he got stuck on this flight or something this last summer for his friend's birthday coming back. I can remember it was like he was stuck in, I feel like he was stuck in like Charlotte. And so he ended up just buying a ticket, so he had a credit. So his ticket to San Diego ended up being like $85. So he's going out there to visit his brother, and they're going to have a good time, and yeah. That looked like a bucket of paint. It just poured all red paint. It poured all over the road. Just filled my gas tank up. So let me tell you about my day. So I went to bed last night. Well, I don't really remember what time I vlogged. It was early though. It was like 8 or 9, right? Something like that. So I got done vlogging, and then I listened to some of my audiobook. I was actually going to stay up later and listen to my audiobook. I was like, because I was kind of awake. It's called Snowbound by Blake Crouch. It's about this guy whose wife goes missing, and he's like, I don't really know what he does yet. If he's like a bounty hunter or like a U.S. Marshal or works for the FBI. I can't really figure it out yet. But his wife goes missing, and you kind of like simultaneously like know what's going on with her. Like, she's been like kidnapped, and I think like, I don't really know yet, but I feel like she's being like, what he says, the guy takes her says she's been sold. So, but the guy doesn't know what her husband does for a living, and they just like took her off the side of the road. And so that's happening, and then like her husband's like being questioned about all of it at the same time. So anyway, I listened to some of that last night, but then I was like, I'm just gonna go home. And so I went home and I started uploading my vlog last night and getting all that stuff done. And then I sat there and I had some extra ice cream left over. I bought this ice cream, I can't remember what it was called. It was called Coffee Crumble or something. And It stopped. I think that I bought it for New Year's weekend. And anyway, so I sat there last night and ate it, and it was so sweet. Boo and Tucker came down. They were barking so loud, waking Alex up, and they came downstairs. And Tucker went back upstairs and went to bed with his dad. And Boo Radley came over. I was just sitting in the couch in the total darkness, not looking at anything, not looking at my phone. It was real nice and peaceful, just sitting there. And Boo Radley came over and he looked at me, and then he walked over to his bed and he laid in his bed and just sat there. And then he waited for me. Wasn't that so sweet? He's been like so close to me lately. It's really sweet. And I mean, they are two of the sweetest dogs in the entire world. They just are such good boys. But anyway, and then I went to bed, and I was probably in bed by, well, between 12:30 and 1. I can't remember, but I was out. I mean, absolutely out. I woke up like 2 to 3 times in the middle of the night, though. I had my dreams were not that scary, but I did have this one dream, and it was like this serial killer came to our neighbor's door, and they could see him like in a camera, but like they didn't let him in, and he was like knocking on the door, and they like texted us, and they sent us like video footage, and they said, don't let him in, and he's like trying to kill us. And then like he knocked on our door, I could hear him knocking on their door or something like that. And then I woke up, and I could just see like the silhouette of this guy, and I woke up, and that kind of scared me. And went to the bathroom, and then I came back to bed, and then I woke up, maybe I just woke up twice, I don't know, but that was at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, okay, I gotta get up. And then I was like, no, you don't, you can sleep in. So anyway, I slept until about 9 o'clock, and then I got up and did some stuff around the house, made coffee, you know, in the Keurig and all that kind of stuff. I'm like loving making coffee in the Keurig, you guys. I'm like obsessed with it now. It's so crazy. And yeah, and I'm saving tons of money. Like, I'm gonna go to Starbucks again when it's nice outside and get iced coffee, but like I've really loved just making coffee in the Keurig. It's just been really fun. So well, this cup though, I will tell you, drips a lot because it doesn't have like a smooth, it has like a hole. So it's like the hole, like the coffee comes out of the hole and then into like the little area, and then it drips into your mouth, and I always like spill it on myself. So then I went and did the review of the, God, it seems like so long ago, that seems like days ago, the Dunkin' Donuts Stroopel Waffle Donut. And was that today? I'm like, was that today? That was today. It seems like forever ago. And then the Stroopel Waffle Donut and the brown sugar oat milk latte. Both were very, very good. And then I went home and I did a drama video, Peterism's video, drama video, uploaded those and got those done. I made a list, made my list, printed out my list, and so I bought these Post-it notes. I showed this on my Peter Does Stuff channel. I bought these Post-it notes that have like a list of like, or like have like the daily schedule on it. And so I showed all those things. I wrote those things down on there that I wanted to do, and like the time and leaving from my doctor's appointment and all that. So I got pretty much everything that I wanted to get done. I did want to make a BookTube video. That was the only thing that I didn't get to today. I was gonna honestly just do like a book vlog in the car. And when I got done at the doctor's office, I just was like so relaxed. I just didn't feel like doing a video right then. And then I got home and I wanted to do a video about the seizure disorder and migraines, because I hadn't made, oh, the train's coming, can you see? There you go. Here it comes. Let's see if we can hear it. I love the sound of the train. I had to let it play for just a little bit. I love this sound. It's so cold though with the windows down. Where's the caboose? Man, this train is long. It's weird, it goes off in the darkness. You can't really see the train coming, like where I'm at right now. You can see this, but you can't really see it coming. Isn't that crazy? Oh, I think this is the end right here. There's the end. Bye, train. There was no caboose on that train. That makes me very sad. Like, I like a good caboose. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, so I went to my doctor's appointment and got my EEG done. Oh my God. So the technician that I had, her name was Taylor. She was fantastic. And I sat down, she just made me feel so comforted and everything. And I wasn't really nervous about it anyway, because I could remember that the last time I had one, I just felt like it was like, kind of felt like a scalp massage. So I went in and they have this, like, you know, a sheet over like this recliner kind of chair, and you just sit there, and then she puts all these like glue in your head and then attaches the cords, and then she reads it on a computer monitor. So I just sat there, and when I sat down, I was like facing where her computer was and stuff, and she had like a pink studded Starbucks cup, and I was like, oh, do you, like, I said, oh, you want to know what's funny is, I said, I collect Starbucks cups like that. She's like, oh my God, you do? I do too. And we got talking about that, and I was telling her about my review channel. I was like, yeah, you should check out my review channel. I do a lot of Starbucks drinks, and I was telling her to try the butterbeer frappuccino, because she said she doesn't like cold brews. And we just talked about all kinds of stuff, and then I was asking her questions about how she got into doing what she does, and she was telling me it was because her mom does like sleep studies, and so she was real interested in it because of her mom, and that they used to work together and all this kind of stuff. She was super sweet, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I was just like super impressed with, and you know, like when you go to like have something done like that, like I feel like the education level is important, you know, I really do, but I think so much of it is like bedside manner. And it's like, you know, when I got my MRI, even though it's been a while since that happened for my back, like, I remember that guy was just so nice and so comforting, and was like, if you're feeling, you know, nervous at all, just let me know and I'll pull you out. I was like, okay. And I mean, he just was fantastic, and she was like that too, you know, like I was talking and talking. I mean, obviously I'm a talker. Come on now, don't be going out. Come on, you know, you guys know I'm a talker, so there it is. And so I was talking. So she, at some point, she was like, now can you put your head back and just close your eyes and just relax for like 20 minutes? And I said, yeah. I said, was I talking too much? And she goes, no. She was like, I just have to monitor you. And she started laughing. She was like, no, I love when people talk to me. And I was like, you are so good at what you do. She goes, you know, thank you so much. She was like, I appreciate that. She goes, you know, people rarely tell us, you know. And she's like, it's nice to have a, you know, a patient that really appreciates what you're doing. I said, oh my God, you made this so enjoyable. And it just like, it did feel like a scalp massage a little bit. So I'm ready to go back and start getting massages again. To tell you, this was something that I did for a very long time, was that I got massages regularly every Monday, like clockwork. I got them. And then I started going like every other Monday, and then you know, the lockdown happened and I wasn't doing that. And then I reached out to my massage therapist, and I was like, are you still taking clients and whatever? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, what's your schedule like? We were having a really hard time arranging our schedule, and I meant to just call him, and then I never did, and now it's been too long. I kind of like feel like I would like to try somebody else too, you know, because at that time, Alex and I had been going to the same massage therapist. I mean, It had been a long time. He was fantastic, though. I mean, he would, God, I felt completely like he had worked out every muscle in my body when I left there. I felt, he was like somebody that worked on a lot of athletes, too. But at that time, we had gone for like 5 or 6 years, something like that. I can remember Alex got me my very first massage from him. And I can remember, so I hadn't had a massage, like a legit professional, you know, massage. I don't know what the counter to that would be. I mean, I'm just talking about, you know, like not somebody like rubbing your shoulders while you're watching a movie. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, and no, I've never had a massage because they always ask this. I don't know why. I've never gone to a massage therapist that's ever done anything weird or anything like that. They've always been completely 100% professional. So anyway, Alex got me my first massage from him, this guy, and oh my God. And I was so nervous, you guys, about going in there. It was so funny because I was like, do I wear my underwear? Do I not wear my underwear? And Alex is like, it's up to you. You do what you want to do. And he'll just tell you, you know, like you can get underneath the sheet. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do. And I'm very much like, tell me what to do and I'll do it kind of thing. He was so nice and he was so easygoing. And I can remember leaving and I just felt like my whole body was like like the spaghetti, you know? And I was like, oh my God, I was like, I'm ready to come back 5 days a week. I understand why people get massages a lot. So, yeah, I think that's something that I want to start doing. I think I'm going to wait till the spring, but I think I'm going to start going back to seeing a massage therapist regularly. I just need to get somebody that I really like again. He's so booked, it's hard to get in with him. And that was part of the problem was, like, so many people had standing appointments that to get in and it'd be like, okay, well, I can get you in 3 weeks from today or whatever. And he may have been retired by now, I don't know. He was really good, though. I think it's important to do things, you know, that, like, self-care stuff. You know, and even if you don't have the money to get a massage or go to the hair salon and all that kind of stuff or whatever. Tanya and I were talking about that today. It was funny because after all these years, she said something about, I was telling her about canceling my hair appointment. And she goes, I hate going to the hair salon. I go, what do you mean you hate going to the hair salon? You go. And she goes, I hate it. She goes, because I get my hair colored. She goes, I just cannot sit there for that long. Because Tanya gets, like, highlights. And she was like, I just have such a hard time sitting there for so long while they're working on my hair. I was like, okay, Tanya. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, I think that, like, self-care is super, super important, whether that's making coffee in the Keurig. I mean, this has been such self-care for me, and what is that? I mean, the price of, you know, K-cups or whatever. And it was funny because my neighbors, so she goes garage sale shopping a lot, and they had a Keurig that stopped working on them because they used it so much during the lockdown, and he was telling me, he was like, yeah, we were garage shopping, this was like a month ago, and she found a brand new Keurig, I mean, like, hadn't been opened or anything, and they got it for like $5 and brought it home, and it's like nicer than the one that I paid like over $100 for. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, just making coffee in the Keurig is so nice to me. You know, when Alex and I have been watching TV, like, typically after dinner now, like, we'll, like, I love to watch TV and eat dinner. We'll watch TV and eat dinner, and then after I've eaten my dinner, I'll put my stuff away while we're still watching the show, and I'll make a cup of lemon zesty lemon tea or lemon zesty tea or whatever in the Keurig. And I put honey in it, and that to me is real relaxing. I love doing that as well. You know, taking a long hot shower, using different, like, bath products. I think that's something that doesn't cost a lot of money to, you know, light a candle here and there. I mean, you can get candles at the dollar store, you know. Actually, when I was at the doctor's appointment today, this woman that was working there, she was telling me, like, all these things that you can do. And the first thing she told me was, did you know that when your Uggs get, like, used down enough that you can actually send them back to Uggs and they will replace like fully your Uggs. Like, there doesn't have to be anything wrong with them. It's just like you've worn them for several years. So you send them back and they will, I've never heard about this before, so if it's true, I didn't know that. She had real cute Uggs on. They had like gold bows on the back of them. She was like, yeah, you can send them back to UGG and they will replace your Uggs like fully. And she was like, oh, I do all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you do? And she was like, yeah. She was like, this wasn't the person that was doing my, this wasn't the technician. This was the person that was checking me in and out, or checking me in. She didn't check me out. And she was like, oh yeah, Bath and Body Works, you can take like lotion containers and you can take candles when they're all the way at the bottom. I said, okay, now I've heard this, but like, how low does it have to be? And she was like, you know, down to this low, and it won't burn really anymore without just being liquid, because you can take it in there and they'll give you a free candle in exchange. I said, really? I said, or is this just like one of those? She goes, no, I heard about it on TikTok and I took it in and it's the truth. I said, okay. So, I don't know. But that's what she was telling me. She said it works. She said you can do it. But I think self-care like that is important, you know, even if you can't afford a lot of money. It's like if you like candles, you know, if you don't like the smell of candles, buy an unscented candle, you know, you can. And Dollar Tree, Dollar General has so many candles, like for super cheap, big ones, small ones, everything. You know, light a candle and, you know, do a little face mask that costs 99 cents and just have a relaxing evening, drink some water. You can even buy like a cucumber, make your own cucumber or lemon water or whatever, and just have a little spa night at home. And the other night I was like writing my intentions and my goals and everything for 2022, and I just like searched on YouTube. I was like music for manifestation or music for yeah, something like that, and I pulled up this video and it was just like real. It actually reminded me of music from, I think that's how I started thinking about it, from like the massage therapist. That is how I started thinking about it, because I said to Alex, I said, oh my God, this music reminds me of so-and-so, or massage therapist, like going there and just listening to it for an hour. Well, my massages were 90 minutes, an hour and a half. It was fantastic. But, so yeah. But I think that's important to do that, you know, and to have, why is my windshield fogging up all of a sudden? To do self-care. Okay, the funny story, it's not really that funny, I don't think. I mean, the story that got me there, did I say it was a funny story? Okay, so to get into graduate school, there were certain classes that I had to have. I can't remember what they were. I had to have so many, anyway, I don't remember. But that was part of why. Well, I took intro to film. I needed to have like an elective in something. I can't remember what it was. But I ended up taking like an intro to film. It was something like if you had like 12 credit hours or 9 credit hours in something, you could call that a minor. That's how I ended up minoring in film. And I took intro to film. I took French film. And there was another film class I took. Critical film study or something like that. I think there was like 4 classes I took that were film classes, and I ended up minoring in film, and my major was in English. But to get into graduate school, I had to have certain classes, and one of the classes that I had to have was like a human biology class, and there were only like 6 options that you could take. Well, all of my girlfriends, I had a lot of girlfriends that were going into nursing or like physical therapy, was it kinesiology, is that what it's called, whatever, but a lot of them like health, you know, that kind of, oh, the battery's gonna die, hold on a second. You guys, I cannot find 2 of my batteries. I have no clue where they're at. I was like, I'm just gonna order this. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I am just gonna order 4 new batteries, and then I'm just gonna retire these. I think you can take them to Best Buy when your batteries are done, and they'll, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. I was just like, did I delete the first part of my vlog? I hope not. So, it's really not that funny of a story. Okay, I mean, kind of it is, but when I tell people, they think it's funny, but it's not like super funny or anything. So all of my friends took anatomy because like I said, they were going into like, what is it, kinesiology, or they were at School of Public Environmental Affairs, and, you know, physical therapy and nursing. A lot of my friends were nursing students. And so they took anatomy. Well, anatomy at the time, okay, if any of you that went to college, I don't know if they still do it or not, but back in the day, you'll know what I'm talking about if you took anatomy, there was a coloring book. And all of my friends would have like all these coloring use the pencils, and they would like color on these coloring books, and it would be like the skeletal system, the muscular system. It was like all these, you know, it's like an anatomy coloring book. And I thought it was so cool. And I was like, oh, I would love this, right? Like, I would learn that way really easily. So I signed up for anatomy. Well, I was real busy, okay? And the class had like the lecture and the lab. And I didn't go to the labs, okay? I just didn't. I didn't care. I was doing my coloring book, kind of. I just thought this isn't going to be that hard, you know? I don't know why I was thinking that about anatomy. But, so we had have like a lecture, a lab, and then a test. And it was like literally the third session. And, so I went to the class that morning. It was like in the lab, and they had like, so, you know, it was like a science lab class. So it was like those black desks that have the sinks in them and stuff, you know. And there were these big boxes up. And when you reached into these boxes, if you looked in these boxes, it was like, because it was on a skeletal system, it was like all these bones. And then you would pick up a bone and it had like a number on it, right? And say like 1 or 4 or something like taped to it. And so when I came in there at like 1:45, and I thought I was early and I was going to study, people had been there like all this time earlier, and so they were like quizzing each other on this stuff, and I was like, I am so screwed. Like, what is going on here? This is when I was sober, mind you, okay? So I sat down, and I don't really know why I wasn't going to the labs, because at that point, like, I was showing up to my classes. Like, I was going to classes and stuff like that. Definitely in graduate school, I went to almost every class that I had. So I sat down, and this girl next to me, real peppy, you know, real excited for life, kind of like, I'm so happy I'm here in anatomy, and I'm gonna ace this test, and she probably did. She said, I was like looking in the box, I was like kind of like just peering in it, and she goes, do you have a full box? And I go, yeah. Like, I guess, I don't know. And she goes, could you hand me your scapula? And I looked in there. And I go, here, I just pushed the box towards her. I go, here, you can do it. And she goes, okay, thanks. And so I was sitting there, and I was like, I don't even know what a scapula is, okay? And so I literally, like, at this point, there's like 20 students in class, right? And there was like a door in the front and a door in the back. I like put my bag over my shoulder, and I just like slipped out the back door. Dropped out of that class. So I used to think that happened when I was using, but that wasn't when I was using. That was when I was sober. And because then I had to go and I had to pick something else. And the only other class was this biology of women class, and it was in the lecture hall. And so it was like this big class, and it was like 300 students, and it was literally like me and 3 guys and, you know, 296 women or something like that. But I do remember that class being really interesting, and it was a lot of things that I didn't think that it would be. I really thought it was just gonna be like this biology class. Now I have to tell you, out of all of the science classes that I ever took, of which I was horrible at, biology and botany were like the 2 classes that I actually was kind of interested in, and I did do okay. So I think I ended up getting a B in that class. I mean, I showed up for every class and whatever. I remember the teacher used to call on me a lot. I used to sit kind of like midway down through class, but she would have a lot of interesting, I remember at the time, because I was working in a treatment facility, and there was like a whole segment that we did, or a whole part on, and I don't know if you know this, but there's like a lot of tests that have been done about this. about women and men, like the difference in how they process alcohol in their body and in their system, and that women process alcohol a lot slower. Women also become alcoholics much quicker over time. Women are also more likely to binge drink shots, whereas, and drink shots to be, like, to drink alcoholically, whereas men are more likely to drink over a longer period of time, but less on a regular basis. Women are more binge drinkers. It was like a lot of these interesting statistics that we learned in there, and just talking about like processing. That was like just one part of it, but it was stuff like that. It wasn't what I thought it would be, going in there and learning about, you know, the anatomy and all. It wasn't that at all. It was really interesting stuff. And so yeah, that was the class. I think I was scared of it too, because I think it was like a 300 level class, and I think I had to get the approval of the professor. I remember there being some mess around it. Like, I had to get the approval from the professor because I hadn't taken like the prerequisite to get into it or something like that, which was just like intro to biology probably, or something, or biology 101. And so I think that's why maybe she called on me a lot or something. Hell, I don't know. I mean, my God, it's been 20 some years, 25, 27 years. But yeah. I think what happened was, I think I had to have that, and then I took the film, I think that was 2 semesters, and because it was 2 semesters, and I was like, I'm going to be down at school anyway, I think that's why I did 2 film classes, because I did like intro to film and French film the same semester, and that was my first semester back, and then my second semester was biology. I took biology of women both semesters, biology of women, and then, because when I dropped out of anatomy, I went right to biology of women, and so then I took 2 film classes, I think maybe 1 or 2, I don't know how many I had to have, but it was either like 9 or 12 credit hours, and you could declare that your minor, and so I declared that as a minor, so that I minored in film studies, and that was like all the film class. Oh, I know what I wrote. I took a class in writing screenplay. I got an A in that class. We had to either write an original or adapt a short story that we had written, and I actually adapted this short story called Lipstick Kids, which I have read on my BookTube channel. I adapted this book into a screenplay, and you know, I got into that class and I had absolutely no interest in, like, I always thought I wanted to write a screenplay, and then when I got in there, I realized I wasn't that interested in writing screenplays. Screenplays are not the idea, the process behind it is creative, but if you've ever read a screenplay, it's very much like dialogue, like, you know, Judy, and then the dialogue, Steve, Sally, you know, whatever, Mark, dialogue, and then it'll say, like, you know, curtain closes, window opens. I mean, it's just very basic stuff. It's not super interesting, and I didn't think there was any creativity to it. I didn't enjoy I like reading it. I didn't enjoy writing it, and I actually did really well in that class. He picked one screenplay to read out at the end of class, and it was mine, and I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. I just like this opening scene where Ruby, the main character, that story had also been printed in a literary magazine. She was obsessed with the color red, and she's coming through all of these clothes in this closet. It's like red taffeta and velvet and lace and crinoline and all these different kinds of materials, and they're all these different shades of red, and she's coming out of this closet, and she's going like this, and then she wakes up and she's in her bed, and she's like ruffling at her sheets, having this dream, and her grandma's going, Ruby, Ruby, down in the kitchen, and she lives with her grandma. And that was the beginning of my book. And I can remember him reading the beginning. He was just, this is fantastic imagery, and I was like, okay. I didn't think of it that deeply, but yeah. I really thought I wanted to go into film, like directing. I mean, there's always been a part of me that's wanted to kind of be an actor. You know, like, I would love to be like a character actor in a movie. Definitely like a Ryan Murphy, like, side character or something like that I would love. But I think, you know, I've seen people dedicate their entire lives to that, and I don't think that was the journey for me. I didn't have the passion and the love for it enough that, you know, and I always knew I wanted to do something kind of creative. And, you know, in like writing books and stuff like that, I really thought that that's what I would end up doing, would be like full-time writing. And I do love to write, but, I mean, that's a tough field as well. Do you know what's so funny is I was talking to my dad today on the phone, and my dad, like, he has exclusively read nonfiction forever. My dad reads like a book a day, okay? And so I was talking to him and I was like, well, what are you doing? And whatever. He's like, I'm getting ready to go to the grocery store. And I said, oh yeah? He's like, I want to come back and I want to start this book that I got. And he was telling me somebody had recommended this book to him, and one of his friends. And I was like, well, what book is it? And he was like, it's called The Judge's List. It's John Grisham's newest book. And I said, when did you start reading fiction? So, for those that don't know, my dad actually went to law school before he went to medical school. And he was real interested in becoming an attorney. And so my dad's, he loves, like, oh my God. I'll call my dad and I'll be like, hey Dad, what are you doing? Can I call you back? I'm watching Law & Order. I'm like, okay, Law & Order, that came out 10 years ago. My dad loves Law & Order. He loves all those cop shows. He loved Perry Mason growing up as a kid because my grandpa was a detective. He loves anything to do with, like, cop shows and law and all that kind of stuff. And he loves, apparently, John Grisham. I didn't know that. He told me today that he's been reading a lot of John Grisham. And I said, okay. I said, when did you start reading fiction? And he goes, oh, I don't exclusively read nonfiction. I go, no, like, you really did. And he goes, well, I guess. I go, no, you really exclusively read nonfiction. And always about really bizarre stuff that I had never heard of. And he goes, yeah, I guess you're right. He goes, no, I enjoy fiction these days. He was like, but my dad is such a fast reader. He goes through stuff like that. Like, it's just like, boom, and he's through a book, you know? So I was like, well, I actually want to read that book, Dad. I said, because the one before it, which I think is The Whistler, I said, it's like, this is the second in the series. And he's like, yeah, I think he said he read that one. I can't remember. But anyway, he was so funny. He was telling me all the stuff that he had to do. So that was my day. That was my story with Biology of Women. And then after my doctor's appointment, I came home and I filmed a Peter Does Stuff video about my doctor's appointment. Well, it was really about having seizure disorder and my epilepsy and migraines, because I hadn't talked about it on that channel. I don't think I had. And so I wanted to do that video talking about it, just in case anybody out there related to it. And I have to tell you what's so funny, I was gonna say strange, but it was really funny, was that so many people in the comment section were like, oh my God, like, I've had the same thing, or my child had the same thing, or my son, or my daughter, or my sister. It was like so many people, like, had very similar stories, which was interesting. So yeah, I did that video, got all that stuff up, put the dogs in their house, and then I went to Costco and I bought a leave because I was completely out of it. So I bought 2 bottles. Let me just tell you, Thursday afternoon at Costco, there's literally nobody there. It was, I mean, I like walked in, walked out, parking was easy, whatever. Talked to Tanya on the phone, tried to plan some more of this trip, and creaky Halloween door. Then Alex came home and we started watching TV. It was so weird, you guys. At like 6:30 or 6:40, it was like pitch black outside. And because whenever I say that, Alex is like, it's actually getting getting dark later, because the closer to June that we get. And he thinks he's very special because his birthday is the summer equinox, June 21st. So he's like, my birthday is the longest day of the year. I'm like, I know, Alex, you tell me that all the time. You're very special for that. So, that Alex always says that, and also when he was growing up, kids would make fun of him for having big ears. I didn't even notice that he has big ears until he told me this story. Like, have been dating for like a year or two, and he told me this story. And this is so my husband. I said, well, what would you say? Did that hurt your feelings? And he would say, well, people call me Dumbo. They would make fun of me and call me Dumbo when I was a kid, when I was growing up in Venezuela. And I said, well, what did you say to them? And he said, I told them at least I had my own Disney movie and that I could fly. I was like, that is so something that you would say. But anyway, so yeah, today was a good day. We're sitting there watching TV. I did feel kind of like an old person. I was sitting there watching TV, and it's like 6-something, and I looked at Alex and I was like, it is so dark outside already. And I said, doesn't it feel later than it is? Or maybe, I don't know, but when that was, but it felt weird. Like, we should be watching TV at like 9-something, and there it was like 6:45 or 6-something. Anyway. Well, all right, you guys, listen, I'm going to get off here now, and I am going to, I don't know, I'm going to listen to a little bit of my audiobook, and I'm going to try to go to bed at a reasonable hour tonight so that I can get some stuff done tomorrow. So, yeah, so anyway, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Friday, magically amazing beginning to your weekend. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Happy birthday, Lena. And for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Be kind to one another. Love ya. Bye. Love ya. Oh, and what are the other things? Practice random acts of kindness. And you can start your day over whenever you want, and reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Like I said, I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I love you. Bye. Love ya. One more. Happy birthday, Lena.